Speedway pitched here at Arlington Stadium, Eastbourne, for the meeting of the South's top three Speedway sides. Eastbourne, the home side, well, there is their lineup, with, of course, the fantastic heat leader strength of Poole, Woods, Dane, John Eskildsen, and number 5, Bobby Swartz, the American skipper, virtually unbeatable around his own track. Reading, of course, coming here for the first time this year. They'll too look for their international spearhead, number 1, top New Zealander Mitch Shearer, and number 3, the fast-starting Swede Jan Andersson. And here is the Poole lineup, the last of the three, with one very famous name missing, Michael Lee, of course, world number 3, with mechanical problems which prevented him riding for England yesterday. Coming into his place as a last-minute replacement, a very well-known Southern rider, Dave Jessup, who started his career here back in 1969, and he'll be the man that Poole will look to for top-end strength in this fixture. For any newcomers to the sport, let's just remind you that the riders race 4 laps in an anti-clockwise direction. You score 3 points for a win, 2 for a second, 1 for a third. The machines are 500cc with no brakes and a fixed gearing. They are capable of acceleration from 0 to 60 mile an hour in just about 3 seconds. This is the number 1 for Reading, Mitch Shearer. We'll look across in the first heat. It is Eastbourne versus Reading, 2 riders from each race, from each team in each race. And the lineup from the inside, we've got Paul Woods riding the red helmet colour. Next to him in yellow and black from Reading, Martin Holloway. Grid 3 has Colin Richardson, another local discovery here, lives in Sussex. He's in the blue helmet colour. On the outside is Mitch Shearer in white, this fast-starting little New Zealand spearhead from the Reading races. So here we go for heat number 1. Away from the start, it looks like the Eagles from Eastbourne are in front. It's Richardson leading it. Second place is Wood. Here comes Shearer around the outside. The 2 Eagles who made the start there, and now Shearer's going after them. It's Richardson up front. Richardson looking for Paul Woods, his partner. They'll stay together now and try and keep Shearer out. This is what they call team speed, where they'll try and cover every inch of the track, and Shearer is trying to get between them and going around the outside. He's gone past Woods. Can he get round the outside of Richardson? Richardson looking hard, and he's looking in the wrong direction, and Shearer's got round the pair of them. And that really is Bold Speedway. And down he goes as Richardson takes him in. The fence is down. And we have some drama right at the top of the show here in Sussex. Well, there is Mitch Shearer having gone right through the fence here in Heat 1. And that was a moment, well, we'll have a look at it again, because it was a tempestuous one. Well, let's look at it again. You can see Shearer in front now. Watch for Richardson on the inside. He is aware he's there. He drifts out. A two-leg touch. It looked a bit like it. And down goes Shearer. And the fence gives. And the referee, Stan Manish, is not happy with the riding tactics of Colin Richardson. And he is the rider adjudged to be the cause of that accident. And he will be excluded from the restart. Here's Mitch Shearer, you can see really close in there. He did go through the fence with rather a wallop, having done all the hard work. Let's look at it again, and you'll see Richardson on the inside. Well, I don't think it was deliberate, but he certainly moved out, and the touch came there, and Shearer goes down, and the impetus takes him on through the fence. Well, it's good to see that Shearer doesn't seem to be seriously hurt, although one wonders if he's going to take much of a part in any of the future action. He's walking away. Well, they are made of whiplash, these lads. Really went hurtling through the fence there, and there he is getting up and walking away. Who said Speedway riders aren't tough? While Shearer, being examined by the doctor, unable to take part in the rerun of Heat 1, is place taken by Reading's Danish reserve Peter Glowns. He'll go into the outside grid. There he is, number 7. And he'll be on the outside. So 3 starters only. Richardson, the cause, being excluded. On the inside, Paul Woods in red. Next to him in yellow and black, Martin Holloway. And now on the outside in white, Peter Glowns. Here we go for the rerun of Heat 1. And this time it is Richardson who gets to the corner in front for Eastbourne. Second place is Glowns. Third there is Holloway. And Woods, who is a track specialist, who seemed to be a little complacent first time around, is now in front and kicking off. where all the action happened, but they circumnavigate the corner quite comfortably this time. Still, Poole Woods up front. In second place, while the two Reading riders together, it's just down Holloway, the rider they signed from just down the M4 Swindon during the winter races. He's in second place now, but of course it is academic. They're nowhere near Poole Woods. They made no mistake from the start. And he has now just one lap to go. It's 302 metres around this racy little Arlington Speedway. You get some exciting moments, as we've already seen. But Poole Woods it is who will anchor Eastbourne in Heat 1. He takes the checkers back. 3 points for him, second Holloway and third Peter Glance. So 3 points to Eastbourne and 3 to Reading to kick off this triangular tournament. Heat 2 coming up with Reading against Poole, and we look at the lineup on the inside. Jan Andersson in the red helmet colour, the super Swede with the Reading racers, and he is a very swift starter. Next to him in yellow and black, an exciting new character and personality, Sam Ermolenko, the American who's made such an impact at Poole this year. Grid 3 has Tim Hunt in blue for the racers. Remember him from one of our other transmissions, telling the referee needed specs. And on the outside, it's Kevin Smith in white for Poole. Here we go for Heat 2. As though Anderson will get to the corner first. Anderson and Ermolenko rides a brave corner around the outside. Going with him is Kevin Smith for Poole. So it's the Pirates now, first and second, and Smith is having a dabble around the boards as Ermolenko stretches. Second place Anderson, third is Kevin Smith. That was a really close first lap, and Ermolenko making a tremendous impression. Of course, the Californians used to riding tight little dirt ways in their native state, so he'll be perfectly at home here at Eastbourne, but it is an impressive debut here. If he can hold on and beat Jan Anderson. Anderson, an international campaigner of great experience. Ermolenko in front into the last lap now. And this is a bright, resourceful opening for Poole Pirates. Ermolenko into the last two corners. Anderson is still second. Smith, who flourished briefly in third place, so a win for Sam Ermolenko. Second place Anderson, third was Smith. 4 points to Poole and 2 to Eastbourne. Or 2 to Reading, rather. Heat number 3 at Poole v Eastbourne with Dave Jessup, the Poole guest, on the inside, back on the track where he started his career as a peachy-cheeked 16-year-old in 1969. He'll be on the inside. Next to him in white, Eastbourne's fiery Danish capture, John Eskildsen. In grid 3, Neil Middleditch, another rider who started his career here at Eastbourne, of course famous for its nursery products. Big Neil in the blue helmet colour, Speedway's clown prints, and on the outside a new American for Eastbourne, Steve Lucero. He'll be in yellow and black here in heat number 3. And there was a nudge into the first corner, and it's Eskildsen around the outside of Jessup. And in third place, the battle is joined as Lucero tries the big drive around the boards. It looks like he's got around Neil Middleditch. Can he take Jessup as well? So it's Eastbourne up front. Eskildsen, second place is Jessup. Third is Lucero. And at the back, it's Neil Middleditch. Anchoring the Eagles. Now the British girlfriend and indeed the Eastbourne public raised the transfer fee for this lad, £10,000. It included his own father, who chipped in 500 quid, which must make a bit of history. This is the last lap over the line. It's a win for John Eskildsen. Second Jessup, third is Middleditch, so 3 points to Eastbourne and 3 to Poole from heat 3. So with 3 heats completed, let's have a look at the score. Poole in the lead with 7 points, Eastbourne on 6 points, Reading on 5. The racers will be without Mitch Shearer, who has a back injury, won't race again. So quite a start to this triangular tournament. More great racing to come. We'll be right back after this break.
Turn to Mitch Shearer, a nasty show, a nasty injury.
Yeah, just made a bad start at the beginning of the race. I haven't had a look at it on the video yet, but I think if we do, we can see what really happened.
Here it is again, let's have a look.
Yeah, you can see I'm standing about mid-track there, and Colin Richardson come on the inside and just left me no room at all and hooked up onto me. I had nowhere else to go except go through the fence, but I couldn't get it down quick enough. and consequently hit the fence a little bit hard. So I think we're going to get down to the hospital and have a bit of an X-ray.
What's the latest? What's the
Just seem to think that might have compressed my vertebrae or something. Can't continue today, but probably be right next week.
You went into the boards with quite a thump.
Yeah, it's quite hard, but it's the breaks. You've got to get up and try and walk away if you can and get on with it.
Mitch, best of luck. Let's hope it's not too bad. Let's hope you're back in action soon.
Thank you.
Heat 4 brings Bobby Schwartz into the action. He's on the inside in red. Next to him in yellow and black, Pierre Branaforce Redding. Grid 3 has Eric Knudsen, and on the outside it is Per Johnson. And up to the corner it is Schwartz, who shows almost inevitably coming hard around the outside. It is Johnson, and that's a surprise. And Schwartz looking back for his partner, the young Dane making his debut here for the Eagles. So we have got, what, 2 Danes, a Swede and an American here in Heat 4. Which just, again, emphasises the cosmopolitan flavour of British Speedway, particularly here in the south. And Schwartz in front, as always, looking immaculate. The young Dane, his partner, has been tailed off, finding his feet around Arlington there. You can see the distances. And Schwartz has time to look back. He's such a composed, controlled character when he's in front. Absolutely perfect picture, getting his line, time to look back, riding consummate ease, in total command. Bobby Schwartz, Boogaloo, the national skipper and the new hero here in Sussex. And it looks as though Johnson's in some trouble. Johnson's machine has given up the ghost at the back. This is Schwartz in front, and it looks like young Knudsen is going to get a lucky point. So fortune favouring Eastbourne. And there's the trouble just behind the grader. Knudsen picks up the odd point, so that is the problem per Johnson for Redding. The bike just giving up the ghost on the last lap. 4 points to Eastbourne there, 2 only to Redding. Well, Heat 5 coming up, and it's Redding versus Poole, and brings another couple of newcomers, interesting one too, into the action. For the Pirates, Leif Valman in white. We're just waiting for him to come into grid 2, a protege of the old Southampton star, Bjorn Knudsen in Norrköping. First time we've seen him. Let's look across the line. On the inside, it's Malcolm Holloway for Redding in the blue helmet colour on the inside grid. Then Valman in white. Grid 3 has Peter Glance coming in for the injured Mitch Shearer. And on the outside, another character, Australian Stan Baer for Poole in the yellow and black helmet colours. So here we go for heat number 5. Now unleashed. Away they go, and up to the line it looks like the Redding pair in front. And it's getting a little bit tight there as it was first Glance and now Holloway through. So this is looking pretty good for Redding, with Malcolm Holloway, who's had a ride, of course, had a second place first time out. He's in front. Second place there, comfortably, Peter Glance. Third place, Stan Baer. The Pirates are being dropped. Valman at the back, just, I think, perhaps feeling his way around first time around Eastbourne. Malcolm Holloway, well, he's in front as ever. He's looking for a job. He might work for British Rail because he runs his own fan trains up to Scotland. Bit of a character of this lad, looking good here. The bit of a battle's sorting out for second place as Peter Glance comes under some pressure. Valman is up on his heels. Here's the leader, and all the action is for second place. You can just see it there. There is in front and coming through hard on the inside. It is Valman who's quickly weighed up this track and going through as well into second place. Going to be very tight. Valman takes second place. Baer is third, and Glance is caught on the last lap of some hectic action to divide the points there. 3 to Redding and 3 to Poole. And that really brings the scores up beautifully level. Couldn't be better balanced. Poole 10, Eastbourne 10, Redding 10. Who could ask for anything more? Moving on into Heat 6 with the Pirates of Poole against Eastbourne. And let's have a look at the lineup. On the inside, Neil Middleditch with a third place first time out. He's in blue. Next to him in yellow and black, it's Colin Richardson, who already has had the crowd on their toes when he tangled with Mitch Shearer. Grid 3 has Dave Jessup guesting for the Pirates for the absent Michael Lee in red, and on the outside it's Paul Woods in white for the Eagles, who of course won his first ride. So that's the lineup, Heat 6. Jessup in Grid 3, and Woods on the outside we may look for, but Richardson, as we've seen, puts himself about at the first corner. Here we go for Heat number 6. We are impatient to go. Jessup trying to anticipate it and pulls a bit of a wee, and it's Richardson who gets away. Richardson in front. Where is Woods? It's getting very tight and down. He's gone. Jessup and Richardson. A nasty one again on that second turn. Here is Jessup, seems to be okay. And the Eagles now have an anxious moment because Paul Woods went over very awkwardly. Let's have a look at that again. Here is the corner. You can see Jessup rears. Now it is Richardson who gets away. And we'll watch for the incident between Jessup and Woods as Woods tries the big dive around the boards. On the outside here now, does he get a nudge? Just going out of our frame there. They go down. And Paul Woods goes in a nasty heap. And there is Paul Woods, again emphasising just how tough these speedway guys are. Straight through the fence, over the awkward way, looked like he might have damaged his shoulder. And here he is ready for the restart, and none the worse shaken, if not stirred. Just putting on his ignition cutout there, that's to prevent the machine roaring on riderless, at least that's the theory. Although quite frankly we have seen one or two rather nasty incidents caused with bikes still out of control. So Paul Woods, interesting to see. It affects the way he hits that first corner, because he was really putting his neck on the line when he spilled. Heat 6 for the second time of asking again. It's the same four riders on the inside. Neil Middleditch next to him, Colin Richardson in yellow and black. Grid 3 has Dave Jessup in red, and on the outside Paul Woods in the white helmet colour. Jessup reared slightly at the start at the first time of asking, and Richardson it was who got the clear break. Interesting to see now what happens in the restart of heat number 6. And again, it looks like Richardson's in front with Jessup. Richardson and Jessup. Jessup going around the outside. Has he got the horsepower? They're absolutely elbow to elbow as they hit the corner, and it is Richardson who keeps going. Jessup will try and lock back under him. In third place it's Woods. And that's, again, was fearless cornering from Colin Richardson. He leads it. Jessup is second. Woods is third. And Jessup hasn't finished yet around the outside there. Perfect piece of cornering. And this time he has got the drop, and Richardson will go in hard and just is unable to find the drive. So Dave Jessup showing his class, his international experience there with a really beautiful piece of overtaking. The battle up front with Richardson. Look as though he wants to drive a whole road through Dave Jessup. A bit of a battle developing for third place there as Middleditch gets up as well. He gets taken out onto the boards for his trouble. I think he might just get round. There is Jessup up front, and a real battle for third place. There's Jessup. Second place is Richardson. Moving in to third place it is Middleditch, and I think Paul Woods maybe feeling the effects of that tumble. A win for Jessup. Second place was Richardson. Third was Middleditch. So 4 points for Poole and 2 only for the home team Eastbourne. Well, let's have a look at that piece of overtaking from Dave Jessup on the second lap, because it really is a fine example of how to get around the outside. It's Richardson in front, and we watch there as we pick up the action again, and you can see Jessup gets his wheels back in line down the back straight there, and this time he just has got the drop, and he's chop across here on Richardson. You can see there a perfectly fair piece of cornering and fine manoeuvring from David Jessup. Heat 8, 3 Swedes and an Australian as Reading face Poole. Let's have a look at the lineup across from the inside in red. In grid 1, Per Jonsson from Reading. He'll be on grid 1. Grid 2 in yellow and black, Stan Bear for Poole, the Queenslander. His first season with the Pirates, having ridden with Weymouth down there in Dorset with good effect last year. Grid 3 has Pierre Branaforce. He should be in a blue helmet. You can see the helmet colour hardly covers that space dome helmet of his, but he's in blue technically and legally. And on the outside here is Leif Coleman, who made up a lot of ground in his first one and looked most impressive. Heat number 8. And who is going to show? It looks like Johnson has got to the corner first, and they're all going around the outside, and that is Bowman, and he was scraping the boards, and he is a discovery, this lad. In front, Johnson, and Bowman goes taken very wide, and he's almost through the fence. And coming through into second place, it is Branaforce. And so it is Reading 1 and 2 at the moment, and Bowman is a spectacular customer and certainly is prepared to have a dabble around the outside. That's the time to look back. Second place, Branaforce. And Bowman, who really was spectacular around the outside, but they're no catching the Reading pairing at the moment. Really going wide. Branaforce in his second season with the racers, having reached the overseas final of the World Championship last year, and they are very comfortable. And after a lot of hectic action on the first lap, it's going to be a maximum heat win for Reading. And down has gone Woolman into the fence. The bike is almost over the fence down here. Woolman, well, he diced with the boards just once too often, and the machine has gone clean over the fence. You can see there, fortunately, the crowd managed to get back. That could really have been a nasty one. The fence again saved the crowd there in a spectacular last corner incident. Well, Heat 9 in what is rapidly turning out to be an eventful first ever triangular tournament between the South Three Top Speedway teams. And we've got two very spectacular customers in this one too. Sam Ermolenko, he'll be in blue for Poole as they meet Reading against John Eskilton in white, who indeed was unbeaten in his first ride. The lineup: on the inside, Sam Ermolenko. Next to him in white, John Eskilton. Grid 3 has Kevin Smith. On the outside, Steve Lucero. And away they go into the corner. Who will show first? It's very tight. On the inside is Ermolenko, and Eskilton trying to get the run down the outside. Who will have the legs? It is Eskilton, the Dane. He leads it. Second place is Ermolenko. Their old battle going off to third place between Kevin Smith and Steve Lucero. Eskilton, this Danish character, has Ermolenko right. What about a length behind him, just waiting for an opportunity. Eskilton has been a bit unlucky with injuries, a couple of nasty shoulder injuries, really slowed him down last year. They're settling down here in Heat 9. Eskilton in front, Ermolenko is second, and third place it's Smith. Lucero still feeling his way around this Arlington circuit at the back, but still in contact. This is the last lap, just 302 metres around this shell track here at Arlington, deep in the heart of Sussex countryside. The two biggies, Eskilton and Ermolenko, go over the line together. It's a win for Eskilton on his back wheel. Ermolenko, third place was Smith. 3 points to Poole, 3 to Eastbourne. It's still awfully tight on the scoring. So at the halfway stage, it could hardly be closer. All tied up on 18 points apiece. But Reading, of course, have lost Mitch Shearer, and Eastbourne will be without Paul Woodsby here, who has concussion in the second half of this triangular tournament. Heat 10 coming up, and Eastbourne forced to use their reserve. Number 7 there, Denzel Kent, originally from Zimbabwe, although he has British parents, with Canterbury Crusaders in the National League before linking with Eastbourne last year. And a lot of responsibility on his slender shoulders, because the home side haven't really done as well as they thought here, and without their number 1 and spearhead Paul Woods, they really have to struggle in the second half of this triangular tournament. Heat 10 has on the inside Colin Richardson, who's a rough, tough character. Next to him in white, Per Johnson from Reading. Grid 3 has Denzel Kent. On the outside, Pierre Branaforce. The Reading pair have recorded a maximum heater. It is the only time we've seen one all afternoon. So here we go for Heat 10. And up to the corner, looks like Branaforce has got a flyer. Branaforce away. Richardson's in second place. In third place, it's Kent. And Richardson and Kent going hard after Pierre Branaforce now. And Richardson will dive bomb around the inside. They're all tightening up around the bottom corner. And again, Richardson comes under. Branaforce is getting awfully, awfully close. And Branaforce is taken right out there, and Kent's coming through. And Richardson really is fearless and shifts him over. He's now in the lead. Second place, Branaforce. Third place is Kent. And it really is all tight and all action out there in Heat 10. Oh, Richardson really does stand on little ceremony. Now here comes Kent, and Kent is moving up the inside of Branaforce as they hit the bottom corner. And this is better news for the Eagles, because it looks as though Denzel Kent might just have the run-up as they hit the last lap. Tremendous battle for second place. And Kent has come through on the inside. He's left some room down the outside for Branaforce, but he stretches away. Richardson in front. Second place, Kent. A really fine piece of battling riding from the Eagles, who take maximum points here in Heat 10. A win for Richardson. Second place, Kent. Third was Branaforce. A real fine piece of speedway action. And the Sussex crowd are really enjoying this moment. Well, there's Colin Richardson, and well, you know he's there. When he's behind, he makes his presence felt, and he absolutely went straight under Branaforce there, shifted him over and left a room for his young partner to come through as well. Fine piece of team tactics and fearless riding from Richardson. So 10 heats gone, and Eastbourne, the home side, inching in front, but they're not clear by any stretch. Poole on 19 points, Reading back on 18. As they settle down for Heat 11, it's Reading versus Poole. Jessup on the outside, little figure who's so slippery away from the tapes. We'll look for him hitting the front and sweeping across the field into the first corner here in Heat 11. There they go, and And well, how about that for race reading? There's Jessup sweeping across the field. He leads it. Second place is Holloway. Third is Glanz. At the back it's Neil Middleditch. And Middleditch, I'm sure, will bore a hole trying to get through. There is the battle for the odd point with Jessup in front. And look back, there is David Jessup, who made the start. No trouble from him. And Middleditch is getting amongst the pairing and has moved into third place. Just about squeezed out by Glanz. Here's the battle for second place, we can see. There's Jessup in front. What is happening in second place? Well, Middleditch has now forced his way past Peter Glanz into third place. Holloway there in second place. He's the one in the blue helmet colour. Here's Middleditch. A tough old character. Stands on very little ceremony. Neil Middleditch. Jessup unconcerned. Complete command. Has a stranglehold here on heat 11. And this is the battle for second place. Neil Middleditch, son, of course, of famous Poole skipper Ken Middleditch. Here's Jessup going over the line, and right on the line for second place it is Holloway hanging on. So that's 4 points to Poole, 2 only to Reading, and Jessup we saw there an absolute pitcher start. Well, there's the score after 11 heats. Eastbourne still with their noses in front. As we look across to the pits, we'll see that there's some frantic activity in the Poole corner where Leif Fellman there trying to repair the forks after careering into the fence. He's not going to make heat 12. The reserve will have to come in. And there is the lineup for heat 12 with on the inside Stan Bear in blue for Poole. Next to him in white Bobby Schwartz for Eastbourne. Grid 3 has the Poole reserve Andy Fines coming into the action for the first time, and on the outside Denzel Kent also replacing the injured Dane in the Eastbourne camp, Eric Knudsen. So there is the new boy in Andy Fines. Riding with Canterbury in the National League as well. Here's heat 12, and Schwartz should really have things all his own way here. Heat number 12, away they go, and it is Schwartz looking across for partner Kent. Kent trying to get around the outside of Stan Bear, and Bear just about holds him out. Here comes Denzel Kent down the outside. The battle for second place is Schwartz in front. Second place Bear, third place is Kent. And Schwartz was looking back for his partner as they go into the second lap, and Kent really is battling hard to get around on the curb. Just hasn't got the horsepower. I think he might squeeze through now. So there it is. It's Denzel Kent who's having a battling afternoon here for the Eagles. Schwartz totally in control. We'll look back now, I'm sure, and see his partners come through, and we'll just wait back for him and try to nurse him home. Important that the Eagles get another maximum heat here. They've looked, of course, Paul Woods. But Kent, his replacement, has looked pretty lively. This is the last lap, and Bobby Schwartz will just sit with his young partner there, make sure he gets into no trouble, no mischief. Schwartz, the complete team man, going over the line here. A win for Schwartz, second place Kent. Third was Bear, 5 more points for Eastbourne, who are beginning to stretch them. Let's take a check of the score with 2/3 of the meeting completed. Eastbourne, as you can see now, inching ahead. They've opened a 5-point gap against Poole, with Reading back in third place on 21 points. And it is John Eskildsen, who is unbeaten in red for Eastbourne, in against Jan Anderson, who is yet to win a race, and that's a surprise in the Reading camp. We'll look across the lineup. On the inside, it's going to be Eskildsen. Next to him will be Anderson and White. Grid 3, we'll have Steve Lucero, who's battled away gamely without scoring a point yet for the Eagles. And on the outside, Tim Hunt in yellow and black for Reading. There's Hunt. We remember him on a TVS transmission telling the referee he needed spectacles down at Poole. Wrote himself into television folklore. Tim Hunt, fair old character. And you'll see him looking up for the green light there as they come under starters' orders, and referee Stan Manish will get them away here in heat number 13, and Anderson and Eskildsen it is who get to the corner. And Eskildsen taking them wide, and Lucero's come through on the inside, and it's very tight in there with Eskildsen leading. Second place Anderson, Lucero's in third place in the blue helmet colour, and Hunter's coming around the outside looking for the odd point. And there's what? About a dozen lengths between all four, with Eskildsen, who has looked like a polished performer. He leads it. Second place Anderson, third Lucero, good third place from Steve at the moment. New boy in the Eastbourne camp. Taking his time to settle with British conditions, which must seem strange to him, but Eskildsen is all about. He really has grown in stature as the afternoon has unfolded. Into the last lap here. Good news for Eastbourne again. They could expected to gain any advantage from heat 13. Looks like they're going to. In the last two corners. And right on the line here, there's a battle coming along, and Lugero just holds on for third place. It was Eskildsen first, Anderson second. The crowd enjoying that. What a tight moment. Oh. "14 heats completed. Eastbourne now with a 5-point gap on 32 points. Poole back on 27. Reading on 25. And in heat 15, Poole can make some inroads into that lead, because it is Eastbourne versus Poole. On the inside in red, Leif Bellman, having repaired his machine, he'll be in red. Next to him in yellow and black, Colin Richardson. In grid 3 in blue, it's Stan Baer, and on the outside coming in for the injured Paul Woods, it's Denzel Kent in white. So there's some forceful characters in here in heat 15. And we fancy it might be a bundle of TNT. Heat 15, Poole versus Eastbourne. Here we go. And up to the corner, looks like Richardson's got away. Richardson's away. Where is Kent, his partner? It's coming round. They're all bunching up. And it's Richardson and Denzel Kent for Eastbourne. In third place, it's Stan Baer. And that really was a spectacular first corner. Looking back over his shoulder, it is Richardson wondering what's happened to his partner. They're all really chasing hard. He's got two pirates really breathing down his exhaust pipe, and here comes Bowman, and we know what a spectacular customer he is, and he's wheeling, and he'll try the outside run. He lost control here last time. Doesn't seem to have put him off at all. Richardson in front, Kent hanging on grimly. Third place Bowman, who is really screwing it all on. Here he comes around the outside again. The battle for second place. We have lost Stan Baer, 3 only runners at the moment into the last lap, and it looks like Eastbourne again are going to gain. And Kent has proved a bit of a match winner for them. The young reserve coming in, Richardson up front, he's been riding well. His second race win. So 5 more points for the Eagles. Richardson wins it. Kent on his back wheel, having shaken off Bowman. 5 points to Eastbourne, 1 only to Poole. So just 3 heats remaining. Eastbourne clearly in front on 37 points. Poole back on 28. Reading really out of contention on 25. And so as we look across the line for heat 16, it could well be that Eastbourne could wrap it here. They've got John Eskildsen, who has been unbeaten. He'll be in red. And he really has looked the most accomplished performer this afternoon. The complete professional. John Eskildsen in red. He'll be on the inside. Next to him in yellow and black, it's Martin Holloway for Reading. Grid 3 has Steve Lucero in blue, and on the outside, Peter Glans replacing the injured Mitch Shearer for Reading. He'll be in white. So here we go for heat 16. Eskildsen could go through the meeting unbeaten if he wins this race. Corner, it is Eskildsen who shows. Eskildsen in front, second place there. It is Holloway in third place. The battle is joined between Glans and Lucero. And it's all tightening up at the back as Eskildsen leads it. Second place still is Holloway. Going into third place, it is Steve Lucero. Bold cornering by the American. And 4 points here could wrap it up for the Eagles. It could well be the race they win the TVS trophy. John Eskildsen, perhaps it's appropriate that he could anchor it, because he has looked in a class of his own, such an improved performer internationally. We're going to see a lot more of him on our screens, that's for sure. Into the last lap. Still, it is Eskildsen. There's the battle for second place. Lucero has done well and made some ground up here on Markham Holloway. And he really is a trier, this lad. So Eskildsen, Lucero's right out on the boards. Eskildsen wins it. Second place is Holloway. Third is Lucero. 4 points to Eastbourne. Surely that will wrap up the TVS trophy after an afternoon of real entertainment and enterprising speedway. Some incidents, some crashes, some pile-ups, but some good racing and tremendous entertainment and a great advertisement for Southern Speedway. Well, there's John Eskildsen getting the traditional victory bumps, riding unbeaten. He has anchored along with Bobby Schwartz the Eagles this afternoon, and well, he'll be feeling happy with life.
Unbeaten today, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, I did. I've been waiting for this maximum for the last 3 weeks.
And it's your first maximum for the club?
Yeah, and I wanted it so bad. And in the end, I always seem to miss out on the last race. Either fall or come third or something like that, miss the gate completely, but it worked today.
So what's your thoughts that you managed it on TV, a maximum?
Well, that's very nice. That's very nice indeed. And I always try and get a maximum, but like today, meant a lot, and it would have meant a lot anyway.
Are you enjoying it here at Eastbourne?
Oh, it's lovely. The supporters are great, and the promotion are great, and the track are lovely. So now we just want this trophy. It's a lovely trophy, isn't it?
Well, just one race left, and there is the progressive totals with Eastbourne now home and dry. But I think we might have some fun in this race because we have two very flamboyant Americans, Sam Ermolenko, and he is on the inside in blue, and Bobby Schwartz looking for a maximum. He's in white in grid 2, just in to spice the brew in red in grid 3. It is Kevin Smith, and on the outside, Denzel Kent for Eastbourne. Away they go. Schwartz has got the drop. Schwartz has hit the trucks, and he's in front, and Kent got a knock there, an elbow. I think he's going to be okay. And he definitely got an elbow as they went into the first corner, and the ref really should stop it. Are they going to get him clear? I think they might. And they're all down at the bottom corner as well. And it's all happening here in Heat 18. Down went Ermolenko, and down went Smith as well, while we were looking to see that Kent was okay. Well, was Denzel Kent pushed, or did he fall? Let's have a look at it again. He's on the outside here as they all bunch up to the first corner. Keep an eye for Kevin Smith now. Does he get an elbow here? Or does he go on his own? Oh, took his leg out from under him. No doubts at all that Kent there, he's been excluded, but he was knocked off clean as a whistle. So here we go for the restart of heat number 18 with just Bobby Schwartz in with the two Pirates. Denzel Kent excluded, a bit controversially, but it must be said the referee hasn't got the same view that we have. So here we go with Ermolenko on the inside, Schwartz in grid 2, and on the outside, Kevin Smith. And away they go again. And now Schwartz has been beaten out of the tapes, and he's in second place. Ermolenko in front. Where will Schwartz attack him down the inside? Oh, standing on precious little ceremony. And Ermolenko coming back at him, and it's really close out there, the two Americans having a rare dice-up. Schwartz and Ermolenko absolutely shoulder to shoulder. Schwartz on the outside, Ermolenko down the inside, and this is real speedway. Just now moving ahead by what, 2-3 lengths. His experience around this Arlington Raceway where he is the master, and Ermolenko hasn't finished challenging. Remember, Schwartz has won lots, his last 29 races around here, and he's really locking back on the line where Ermolenko will attack him. And it's a fine, splendid advertisement for freeway racing, this. Really having a go, flat out, the two Americans riding a perfect line, perfectly competitive, perfectly sporting. Schwartz will hold on for maximum points, the second one in the Eastbourne lineup. He wins it, second place Ermolenko, way back in third place Smith. So Bobby Schwartz really making it a day to remember for the Eagles. So a really tremendous race to end a terrific meeting. Confirmation of the final score in this first ever TVS Trophy meeting. The winner Eastbourne Eagles on 44 points, Poole second on 33, Reading back on 31.